রঞ্জন যমুনা তীর বনচারী যমুনা তীর বনচারী জয় রাধা মাধব জয় কুঞ্জ বিহারী হরে কৃষ্ণ হরে কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে 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 রাম 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 হরে 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 কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে 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 রাম 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 হরে 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 কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে 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 রাম 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 হরে হরে জয় রাধা গিরিধারী রাধে জয় রাধা গিরিধারী রাধে জয় জগন্নাথ জয় বলদেব জয় সুভদ্রা জয় গৌর নিতাই জয় গৌর নিতাই জয় গৌর নিতাই জয় জয় প্রভুপাদ জয় জয় প্রভুপাদ নিতাই গৌর হরি বল নিতাই গৌর হরি বল So today we'll Hare Krishna everybody. So today we'll first read from Prabhupada Lilamrita, and after that we'll recite and discuss one slok from Srimad Bhagavatam. So I'm sharing my screen now. Mr. Ram. So I'm reading from Lilamrita, chapter 21. And one evening, Mr. Price visited Prabhupada up in his room. Prabhupada sitting on the floor behind his desk, and Mr. Price sitting on a metal folding chair. Mr. Price wore an elegant suit and a white dress shirt with cuff links and starched cuffs. His expensive dress, meticulously tanned face, and blonde hair, which some devotees thought was a wig, contrasted strangely with Shami's simplicity. Mr. Price kept referring to Shamiji as Your Excellency, and he expressed much appreciation of Shamiji's work. He spoke optimistically about how, through his connection, he hoped to save Prabhupada a lot of money and trouble and get him just the place he wanted. And accompanied by a few disciples, Prabhupada went with Mr. Price to see the building. While Mr. Price, the devotees, and the custodian of the house were all talking together in a group, Prabhupada wandered off unnoticed to a corner of the room where there was an old-fashioned sewing machine. He began pressing the treadle and examining the workings of the machine. As Mr. Prabhupada rejoined the group, Mr. Price said, "If you can just get $5,000, I can get the owners to draw up a contract." $5,000 drawn, and another 5,000 within 2 months. That should not be so difficult. Mr. Prabhupada liked the building and told Brahmananda they would purchase it. Hare Krishna, I stop here. Now I'm So we'll read from Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naranchaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Srinnatam Shakata Vishnu Punno Savana Kirtano Hridiyantasto hi avadrani vidhunoti shurishatam Nashto prayesho avadreshu Nityam bhagavata sevaya Bhagavati uttama shloke Bhaktir bhavati nashtiki Mantraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. So today we'll read from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 28 and verse 31. The heading of this canto is The Creation of the Fourth Order, and the heading of this chapter, Puranjana becomes a woman in his next life. So I'm sharing the screen. Please allow me to say. Can everybody see the screen now?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, thank you. Eko ekosya bhavo tesham rajo narbudam bhokshate jad vamshadharo mohi mannantaram param ekoikasya bhavo tesham rajon arbudam bhokshate jad vamshadharo mohi mannantaram param ekoikasya bhavo tesham rajon arbudam bhokshate jad vamshadharo mohi mannantaram param. If anyone wants to recite, and
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandot Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, please.
Eka ekasya abhavat tesham rajan arbudam bhokshayate yadvamsha dharuir mahi manvantaram param. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Anyone else?
No? Ekoikosya bhavattesham rajan orbudam bhokshyate yad vamshadharoir mohi manvantaram param. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Anyone else?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, please.
I am also trying, okay. Ekoikasya bhavatesham rajan arbudam bhokshate yad vamshadharer mahi manantaram param. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Yes, Mataji, please.
Ekaikasya bhavat tesham rajan arbudam bhokshyate yat vamsaha dhareir mahi manvantaram param. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Anyone else? In that case, we can go to the synonyms. So, can anyone please read the synonyms, please?
I'll try, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu. Please.
Synonyms by Srila Prabhupada. Eka ekasya, of each one. Abhavat, there became. Tesham, of them. Rajan, O king. Arbudam, 10 million. Arbudam, 10 million. Bhokshayate, is ruled. Yat, whose. Vamshadharaihi, daraihi, by descendants. Mahi, the whole world. Manu, antaram, up to the end of one Manu. Param, and afterward. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu. And anyone can read the translation?
Yes, Prabhu, I can read.
Yes,
Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. My dear King Prachin Varishat, the sons of Malay Dhaja, gave birth to many thousands and thousands of sons, and all of these have been protecting the entire world up to the end of one Manu's lifespan and even afterward. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu.
And the purport, or someone can start?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji, please.
Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. There are 14 Manus in one day of Brahma. A Manvantar, the lifespan of one Manu is given as 71 multiplied by 4,320,000 years. After one such Manu passes on, another Manu begins his lifespan. In this way, the life cycle of the universe is going on. As one Manu follows another, the cult of Krishna consciousness is being imparted, as confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 4.1. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Imam Vivashvate Yogam Proktahvan Aham Avyayam Vivashvan Manve Praha Manur Ikshvakave Abrabhi. The Blessed Lord said, I entrusted this imperishable science of yoga to sun god Vivashvan, and Vivashvan instructed it to Manu, the father of mankind, and Manu in turn instructed it to Ikshvaku. Vivashvan, the sun god, imparted Bhagavad Gita to one Manu, and this Manu imparted it to his son, who imparted it to yet another Manu. In this way, the propagation of Krishna consciousness is never stopped. No one should think that this Krishna consciousness movement is a new movement. As confirmed by Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, it is very, very old movement. It has been passing down from one Manu to another. Among Vaishnavas, there may be some difference of opinion due to everyone's personal identity. But despite all personal differences, the cult of Krishna consciousness must go on. We can see that under the instructions of Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Srila Siddhanta, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj began preaching the Krishna consciousness movement in an organized way within the past 100 years. The disciples of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj are all God brothers. And although there are some differences of opinion, and although we are not acting conjointly, every one of us is spreading this Krishna consciousness movement according to his own capacity and producing many disciples to spread it all over the world. As far as we are concerned, we have already started the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, and many thousands of Europeans and Americans have joined this movement. Indeed, it is spreading like wildfire. A cult of Krishna consciousness based on the 9 principles of devotional service. Sarvanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smranam, Pad Sevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam will never be stopped. It will go on without distinctions of caste, creed, color, or country. No one can check it. The word bhoksyate is very important in this verse. Just as a king gives protection to his citizens, these devotees following the principles of devotional service will give protection to all the people of the world. The people of the world are very much harassed by so-called religious principles, swamis, yogis, karmis, and gyanis. But none of these can show the right way to become elevated to the spiritual platform. There are primarily 4 parties spreading devotional service all over the universe. These are the Ramanuja Sampradaya, the Madhava Sampradaya, the Vishnu Swami Sampradaya, and the Nimbakar Sampradaya. The Madhava Gaudiya Sampradaya in particular comes from Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. All these devotees are spreading this Krishna consciousness movement very widely and giving protection to innocent people who are being so much embarrassed by pseudo avatars, swamis, yogis, and others. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mati. Thank you for that. So, Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnanandjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Jnana Tasmai Sri Guruve Namo Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Jnana Bhutale Swayam Rupa Padamahyam Dadati Shapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sita Padakamalam Sri Guru Vaishnavancha Sri Rupam Shaprajatam Savana Raghunatham Nitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Savana Lunida Sri Vishakanitam Sya He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Paramami Haripriye Vancha Kalpataruddhasya Pipa Sindhu Devacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namo Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sivas Gaur Bhakta Jai Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pishtaya Bhutale Krishna Pishtaya Bhutale Prabhupada Anugami Sri Shubha Goswami Sada Dunya Shri Shubhagaya Sarva Jiva Pripapte Guru Shiksha Sadacharo Palokaya Namostute Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshotarini Namo Mahabhadanaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratrishe Namo Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pongum Langhayate Girim Yatkipatamahan Vande Paramananda Madhavam Sri Guru Dinataran. Hare Krishna, everybody. So, welcome to you all, the devotees here in this morning class of Srimad Bhagavatam. And I am not qualified, but I am still doing this service as I have been instructed to undertake this service. And it gives me an opportunity to purify myself. So I beg you all for your mercy to please bless me so that I can praise the Supreme Lord, Sri Krishna, Hare Krishna. So in this chapter, if we, as we have just gone through the purport of this verse, in this chapter, we continue to hear Narad Muni speaking to King Prachin Borishal about the improper consciousness of Puranjana had at the time of leaving his body in his old age. He thought about his family members and particularly about his wife. His attachment to his wife was very, very strong, and he was thinking only about what will happen to her after his departure from this world. And as a consequence of it, he begot the body of a woman in his next life, following the unavoidable law of material nature. Karmana daiva netrena, by the superior order, a person gets a body, as depending upon the consciousness he had got at the time of leaving his body. In his next birth, he was born as a daughter of King Vidarbha, and her name became Vaidarbhi, in the very house of the king. And she was married to a very powerful man, Malayadhwaja, an inhabitant of the Pandu country. And since Malayadhwaja was both a powerful king and a devotee, he fulfilled all the requirements for Vaidarbhi to become a devotee. So we must take shelter of a devotee to become a pure devotee. And in this purport in particular, the Prabhupada stressed the importance of human being to become a devotee of the Lord and then always remain and act in Krishna consciousness. Because the Supreme Lord, when he created this material world, has given us the Vedic wisdom also, and advising us how we should live our life here and how we can get rid of this material sufferings we are getting in this material world. All living entities in this material world are struggling very hard for our existence. And the science of Krishna consciousness is the perfect Vedic wisdom or the knowledge, and, or in other words, a spiritual medicine to bring an end to all these sufferings. We should revive our lost when we revive our lost relationship with the Supreme Lord, of which we are part and parcel, we can realize our own constitutional position, and we understand what is our real duty as a human being. And the science of Krishna consciousness, as Prabhupada has mentioned, it has got a very ancient past. It is as old as the creation itself. And Supreme Lord Krishna has himself arranged for propagation of the science of Krishna consciousness in the human society. He has done it because it is the only way we can become free from material bondage of our sufferings. And in this way, we can get rid of it. By following the process, we can get rid of it as well. And our attachment to material things is very strong in this material world. And Sri Krishna was talking to Arjuna in chapter 3, and particularly in the verse 3.9. Yagyarthat karmano annatra lokayam karma bandhana tadartha karma kaunteya mukta sangha samachara. In other words, which means that work binds one in this material world. Unless work is done as a sacrifice for Vishnu, or we do not act in Krishna consciousness, we get entangled to the fruits of our work. And as a result, we remain in the cycle of repeated birth and death and suffer life after life in different bodies, excepting material bodies. So the Supreme Personality of God, in order to teach us how to work in this material world, we do not get entangled. He has given us the solution for that. And the real problem is that we are conditioned, and we are entangled in material activities, and our struggle continues and getting punishment life after life. And the living entities, when we follow the instruction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Sri Krishna, who is never entangled, because Lord, you see, if we look at the Lord's creation, it is created, it is maintained, and it is destroyed. But Lord is never entangled with that. He never repents for that. In a similar way, if we serve the Lord and acquire His qualities and acquire, which is our real identity, being part and parcel of the Lord, our quality is same as the Lord. So if we acquire that qualities, we will not get entangled and will not be attached to this material world. And that we have to acquire through Krishna consciousness. That is the message Prabhupada is giving in this message. But Krishna's instruction, who can follow? Only the devotees can follow. And Lord has told how to become a devotee of the Lord. Manmana bhavo madbhakto madhyadivam namaskar. He has told in two places in Srimad Bhagavatam, one in 934 and also in 18 chapter 8, verse 65. Manmana bhavo means always think of the Lord. Manmana bhavo means to think of me, means here the Lord Krishna. So we should always think of Lord Krishna and become his devotee. Manmana bhavo madbhakto, become his devotee. And Prabhupada also said, what a devotee's business, because Madhyaji, to pray worship to the Lord, who can do that? Only a devotee can do that. So Prabhupada is told that devotee's business is to offer obeisances to the Lord, to the spiritual master, who is also a devotee of the Lord. This principle is the recognized way to come to the platform of bhakti. So this is the recognized way of coming to the bhakti. When we realize this properly, as we have told, our sufferings in this material world ceases, and we can go back. When we become purified by our bhakti, we can become purified and we become qualified to go back to the supreme abode of the Lord, and where there is no suffering and no problems of this material world. Now, second is here Prabhupada is told about the science of Krishna consciousness, its old history. He is told in Bhagavad Gita 4. He has referred to 4.1. Sri Bhagavan Vachimam Vivashate Yugam Praptavan Hom Abhyam Vivashan Manovev Raho Manoriksha Kavi Prabhi. In other words, the Supreme Lord Krishna is telling that I instructed this science of yoga to sun god Vivashan, and Vivashan instructed to Manu, and he is the father of mankind, and Manu in turn instructed to Iksha. And of course, the next verse, Prabhupada does not mention in 4.2, it's mentioned, Evam parampara prapto imam rajashoya vidusha palena matar yoga nashto karanto. In course of time, this discipline chain was destroyed. And the third verse he says that's why I'm giving it to you now. So Sri Krishna is again giving it to Arjuna. In other words, it shows that from the very creation, Lord Krishna has arranged for Krishna consciousness as a part of the human society, and he ensured that the human society follows these rules. And who are the protector of this Krishna consciousness thing? The kings. All the kings are, because they are the maintainer of they have maintenance of its citizens. So to protect them both materially and spiritually, the king must first know it himself first, and then he can pass it on to his next king, so that in this way the the protection of Krishna consciousness, the knowledge is spread to the society. And so all the kings or all the head of the states must know this knowledge by which the citizens can learn this process by education, by culture and devotion, and the kings are entrusted with the task to maintain it. And how now we come to the creation. Prabhupada is told in the beginning about the Manvantara's creation, how Manvantara, one Manus after another, how this knowledge was spread. Now, Mannathur, let me speak as briefly to about this to the extent possible. We know that all of us know that we consider there are 4 ages or 4 yugas. That is Kali Yuga, Dapur Yuga, Treta Yuga, and Sattva Yuga. Of course, I have told in a reverse way. It starts from Sattva Yuga, and then Treta Yuga, then Dapur Yuga, and then Kali Yuga. These 4 yugas, and the Kali Yuga, the lifespan, the 4 yugas or the ages combined together is called Dibbo Yuga, one Dibbo Yuga. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adilila, in verse 3.7, it is mentioned, Shatto Treta Daporo Koli Chari Yug Mani, Shei Chari Yuge Dibbo Ek Yug Mani. We know that there are 4 ages, that is Shatto, Treta, Dapur, and Koli, and these 4 together constitute one Dibbo Yuga. And Prabhupada also mentioned another thing that is also mentioned in the verse 3.8 in Adilila, where it is told, Ekattara Chatur Yuge Ek Mannantar, Choddo Mannantar Brahmar Divos Bhitar. That is the verse 8. 71 Dibbo Yugas constitute one Mannantar, and there are 14 Mannantars in a day of Brahma. In a day of Brahma, let me explain it. No. In a day of Brahma, there are 1,000 Dibbo Yugas. So 1,000 Dibbo Yugas, that means 1,000 Dibbo Yugas, and of which one Manvantar is 71 Dibbo Yugas. So 1,000 divided by 71, it comes in 14 point something. So there are 14 Manus in a day of Brahma. And now, and at the present moment, the Manu, or name of the Manu, is called Vaibhashata Manu. And at the moment, it is seventh Manu is going on at the moment. Now, one may ask, why do we get all these things? It comes from the Vedic knowledge, but there is a Sanskrit book called Surya Siddhanta, and in our discipline succession, the spiritual master of our Prabhupada, Sri Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj, he studied it, and he has written a Bengali book on that, and that's why he was given the name Siddhanta Saraswati. When subsequently he became, he took the renounced order of life, his name became Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati. So this is also another history of our, that means in our tradition also, there is a link for that also. And now about the 14 Manus, as I told, in a day of Brahma, I'm just reading them, just for your information. It's not that, but as I've told you, it started with Swayambhuva Manu, then Sarochisha, Uttama, Tamasha, Raivato, Chakshusha, Vaibhashata with the current Manu, and then Savarni Manu, Daksha Savarni, Brahma Savarni, Dharma Savarni, Rudra Savarni, and Deva Savarni, and both and Indra Savarni. And at the 8th Ashtavinsha Chaturjug, that means because it is the 7th Manvantar going on, 4 into 7, 4 yugas, so 28 yugas, and at the 28th yuga, when it is going on, at that time, in the Koli and Dapur, end of that Dapur yuga, the 28th Chatur yugas, the Dapur yuga, Lord Sri Krishna comes to this material world. And similarly, as we have seen, so we are a bit lucky in that sense. In this millennium, the Lord Krishna appeared in Vrindavan. And similarly, in the Kali Yuga, in the beginning of Kali Yuga, we can say beginning in the sense because the Kali Yuga extends for 432,000 years, and only 5,000 years have gone, approximately. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also came. So this is the time of the seventh Manvantar, and at the end of the Dapur Yuga, Lord Krishna comes, and at the beginning of Kali Yuga, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes in the cycle of creation. And so now in the Monnantara, just a bit extension of that. What is the Monnantara? How that works? Monnantara works. They are just like in our in a democratic government. You have seen there is a cabinet ministers. There are cabinet who is headed by the prime minister. In a similar way, the Monnantara government has also got different or 8 wings. 6 wings. The first is Indra, the lord of the heaven, and then other demigods, and then Manvantara avatar, Manu, Manu's son, and Saptarishis. So these are the 6. Indra, other devatas, Manvantara avatar, Manu, Manu's son, and Saptarishis. And I am just reading who are the current Indra and other things. The name of the current Indra is Purandar. And other devatas who are the part of it, 12 Adityas, 8 Vasus, 11 Rudras, and 49 Maruts, and 2 Ashwini Kumars, and 3 Rivus. And Manvantara avatar, Vamandev is a present Manvantara avatar. And Manu is Shraddhadev. Shraddhadev is the Manu, and Manu's sons, he has got 10 sons: Ikshaku, Nabhago, Rishta, Sharyati, Narishanto, Nabhago, Dista, Tarusa, Prishdhara, and Vashuma. These are the 10 sons of Manu. And Saptarishis are Kashyap, Otri, Jamdagni, Gautam, Vashishta, Vishwamitra, and Bharadwaj. These are the 7 rishis. So this is the constitution of the Manvantara avatars. Now, what is the process of acquiring this knowledge, how to become a devotee and how to become a pure devotee of the Lord, and we can acquire the Krishna consciousness? That we'll just discuss briefly. What are the process of acquiring this knowledge? The process of acquiring this, as Prabhupada has told at the end of the purport, that unless one acquires the knowledge properly, he will be misguided, and just as people are being cheated nowadays, he has told, that's why he has referred what is the real way of accepting the spiritual knowledge. And in Bhagavad Gita 4.34 and in Srimad Bhagavatam 11.3.21, I'll just discuss about this too. Of course, there is a reference to how they usually refer to the qualities of a spiritual master, and the process how we can acquire it. Now, in 4.34 in Srimad Bhagavatam, it is mentioned as Tadvidhi pranipateno pariprashneno sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas-tattvadarshini. That means a person should tadvidhi pranipatena. Tadvidhi means how one can acquire that. To acquire that knowledge, pranipatena. Pranipat means prakrishta rupeno nipat, means complete surrender to the spiritual master. And how one does that? Pariprashna, but one have the choice to make inquiry about from that person, and by rendering service and submissive inquiry, one can find out a spiritual master. And what is it? What is the quality of that person? Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena shivaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas-tattvadarshini. Because he is a tattvadarshi, means he has seen the truth, he has realized the truth, and so he is able to deliver the truth. But we should go to a person who can deliver us that truth, and he can also take us back to Godhead. That is the qualification of a spiritual master. And in similar way, in Srimad Bhagavatam, in 11.3 and 21, and chapter 3 and verse 21, Tasmat Gurum Prapadde Jigyashu Shreyottamam Shabde Pare Cha Nishnatam Brahmani Uposhamasrayam. A person who seriously desires to real happiness must seek a bona fide spiritual master and take shelter by initiation. And the qualification Guru, as I have just told, the same thing is repeated here, that by deliberation and is able to convince. The qualification of the spiritual master is that he has realized this. He realized knowledge, tattva, and absolute truth, and he can conclude. He has read the conclusions of the scriptures, and by deliberation he is able to convince others the conclusions what he has received. And these great personalities who have acquired that knowledge, they have renounced all the material considerations, and so he is a bona fide spiritual master. He has renounced the material world, glittering to the material. Not that he has. Sorry, I mean to say by that he has not renounced the material world, but he has no attraction for the material world. But he has realized the truth, and he is able to convince others the need for accepting the truth. And in fact, Sridhar Swami has told that, as I have in this verse, Shabde Poricho, he has told Shabde here refers to his Vedic knowledge, and Pore refers to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So the bona fide spiritual master, he must be Nishnatam, means deeply experienced in authorized Vedic culture, and he is practicing also the Supreme Personality of understanding about the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And without proper knowledge and practical realization of the personality of Godhead, or a guru will not be able to dissipate the doubt of his disciples. So he will not be able to execute the function of bringing back to the Godhead, because unless he is not confident of his knowledge, how you can bring back another person to that, give that person to that knowledge. And the symptoms of understanding the Vedas and Krishna is called Uposhamasrayam. In other words, the bona fide spiritual master is one who has, as I told you earlier, that he has retired from glitterings of this materialistic society, and otherwise, one, as Prabhupada has in the purport has very clearly told, what happens when a person doesn't accept it in this way, or doesn't go to a proper spiritual master. It happens, and in that case, he is likely to be cheated. And one of the possibilities that he can get a religion which is irreligion, and also the illusion of the material world will not go, and he will suffer in the consequence. And sometimes it happens, Prabhupada wanted to mention in the purport also, that in this, people want to get rid of this distresses of this material world as blazing fire, as it is often told. So if he do not find a proper spiritual master, and or he accept a spiritual master who has not proper intelligence and knowledge, in that case, it is just like jumping in a shallow river. When a person jumps in a shallow water, what happens? He may break because there is not enough water and not enough depth is there. He may break his head or in the other parts. So he has neither got relief from this material world, but also nor he has reached the goal. So misguided conditioned soul should not be approached, and one should be very careful about that. And one should approach a guru who can extinguish the blazing fire of this material world. And in fact, in our tradition, say Vishwanath Chakraborty Thakur has explained the guru, and which every day in our Mangalarti we pray for the Guru Maharaj. Samsara davanalo liraloko pranayo karunno bhanavana. So that is the quality of a spiritual master who can take a person, who can give a relief from these material sufferings and can take him back to the Godhead. And people who want to be cheated, they will be cheated if they do not find the spiritual master properly. Now, for that, another thing Prabhupada has mentioned about the four parties are spreading Krishna consciousness. I told about the four valid sampradayas, and as most of us know it, but again, as a matter of repetition, I'm just telling, I think most of you know that there are four valid sampradayas. They're called Brahma Sampradaya, Lakshmi Sampradaya, Shiva Sampradaya, and Kumara Sampradaya. So, and Brahmo Sampradaya is also known Madhva Sampradaya, with Madhavacharya is the head. And ours one, Gauriya Vaishnava Sampradaya, is also a branch of that. And for us, the Acharya is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And the comments of the comments of or the commentaries is Purna Pragya Bhasha of Madhacharya, and for the tattva or the philosophy that is given is called Madhvacharya Shuddha Advaitavad, qualified dualism, purified dualism. And for ours, the Gauriya Vaishnavas, our tattva is called Chinto Veda Ved Tattva, that is inconceivable openness and simultaneous openness and difference. That is ours one, that is the Brahma Sampradaya. And for the Lakshmi Sampradaya, or also it is also called Ramanuja Sampradaya or Sri Sampradaya, and Ramanujacharya is the Acharya, and their commentaries is called Sri Bhashya, and their tattva is Vishishta Advaita or specific monoism. And the third one is Shiva Sampradaya, also called Rudra Sampradaya, or Vishnu Swami Sampradaya, also sometimes called, or Vallabha Sampradaya is called, based upon their Acharya, that is Vishnu Swami the Acharya and also Vallabha Acharya. And their commentaries is Sarvagya Bhashya or Shuddha Advaitavad or purified monism. And Kumar Sampradaya, the four Kumaras coming from that tradition, Nimbarka Sampradaya, and Shonokadi Sampradaya, they are also called Shonokadi Sampradaya. And Nimbarko is the Acharya, and their commentaries is called Parijato Saurabha, Parijato Saurabha Bhashya, and their theory, their commentaries, not commentary, their tattva is called Dvaita Advaitavad, or monoism and dualism. And there is another group, they're called Mayavadi school. We are not discussing that, but just for information, they are called Smarta Brahma, and Shankaracharya is the Acharya for them, and their commentaries is called Shariraka Bhashya of Shankaracharya, and Advaita Keval Advaita, or monoism is their tattva. So one should therefore, as we have discussed, that one should accept a spiritual master based on any of this tradition or parampara, because the knowledge is coming directly from the Lord, and when a person accepts it from a valid sampradaya, then his mantra becomes successful, and he accepts as a guru who is qualified, then his success of going back to Godhead is guaranteed. But if he doesn't accept it properly, it is quite likely he will not be able to go back to Godhead in spite of his all endeavor. So we should be very careful while doing that. And now, what is the process of devotional service? There are 9 processes of devotional service and or bhakti. And in Gopal Tapani Upanishad, bhakti is described as offering of devotional service into the Supreme Personality. Okay. So, Srila Rupa Goswami in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu has given a very nice definition. Everybody knows it, but as a matter of repetition, I'm telling. Anya vilashita shunyam gana karma dhyanabritam anukullena krishnanushilanam bhakti uttama. And one should render devotional service to the Supreme Lord Krishna favorably. That means it should be in favor of Krishna and without desire for material profit or gain, and or fruitive activities or philosophical speculation. And this is pure bhakti. Now there are, in fact, the same thing in Srimad Bhagavatam. This is repeated by Prahlad Maharaj when he was asked by his father to say something what he has learned from his in his school or from his spiritual master. Then he thought that his spiritual master is Narad Muni, so he recited this verse, which is given in Srimad Bhagavatam 7:3, 23 and 24. Just reading, Prahlad Maharaj, Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Swaranam Pado Shevanam Archanam Vandanam Dasham Shakhyam Atmanivedanam Iti Pungsharpita Vishnu Bhaktischena Navalakshana Riyote Bhagavati Adha Tanmanne Dhitam Uttamam Adhitam Uttamam. That means hearing the name of the Lord, Sravan, it is the beginning of devotional service. And in fact, it is the most potent also at the same time. It is the beginning, but at the same time, it's the most potent. And when we chant the name of the Lord and hear it, it is as powerful as connecting to the Lord. Because of our conditioned soul, sometimes we do not understand it. But gradually, as we chant when we hear the name of the Lord, His names, His qualities, His pastimes, and when we hear that, gradually we becomes purified. And in this way, by purification, we can realize the God who is situated in our heart, the Sachidananda Vigraha. And so this is the most potent way of devotional service. And everything, Sravanam is the most important aspect. And it is Kirtanam. Kirtanam is chanting. The chanting of the holy name is the second item in the Prasidhivada. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has told that we have to chant the holy names of the Lord when being most humility way. So as if we and one he has given in third verse of Shri Krishna that Trinado Pishuni Cheno Tororo Vishnana Omanina Manodeno Kirtaniya Shadahu. A devotee should be peacefully chant the holy name of the Lord by behaving more humbly than a grass and tolerant like a tree and giving respect to everyone without expecting any honor from anyone else. If that is our state of mind, in that case, it will be very effective and we can progress very quickly. And in this age of Kali, this is very potent and very easy at the same time. If we do that, because it is mentioned, the Hare Nama, Eva Kevalam, Kalo Nasti, Evo Nasti, Evo Nasti, Ego Dhiranada. That means in this age of Kali, it is it gives us a deliberation in chanting the holy name of the Lord. And if we remember that when Parikshit Maharaj was about to kill Kali because of his bad things, one condition that he find out, because he was Sharagrahi, so he was able to find that one good thing in Kali Yuga is that by chanting the holy name, one can attain all the good, or one can go back to Godhead, which was very difficult in the past other lives, in the past ages, like Dapur Yuga, Treta Yuga, and Kali and Shukta Yuga. Hard, either deity worshipping, yajnas and other things, and meditation. These are very difficult process. As against that, the present age of chanting the holy name is much easier. So these are, and the other things is Smaranam, Padoshevanam. Smaranam is remembering the Lord, and Padoshevanam means chanting the remembrance of the Lord, and Padoshevanam is to lotus feet of the Lord. But lotus feet means serving the lotus feet of the Lord according to one's taste, strength, hearing, and chanting and remembrance. When we do that, that is also called Padoshevanam. Prabhupada is told Padoshevanam also means always remembering the lotus feet of the Lord is also Padoshevanam. And or otherwise we can not only that, serving the a devotee also is when we serve the devotees of the Lord, it is also Padoshevanam. And serving the Vaishnava, Tulsi and Ganges and Jamuna, and these are also Padoshevanam. And then Archanam, with the deities of love, normally when you do that, is Vandanam, Darsham, and Shakhyam. Shakhyam and Atmadivedan is, of course, a very higher level, and that is the Raganuga Bhakti. So we are not reading that, but just for your info, just as a matter of conclusion, we can say that each of them, each of the process we have told, 9 processes, is potent to give a person complete liberation. And there is a mention of that in our Shastra, I think Rupa Goswami has told that Parikshit Maharaj attained salvation in his book Sri Vishnu Sravane Parikshit Avaved Vaiyashoki Kirtane. That means when Parikshit Maharaj heard it with one pointed attention, he was liberated. And similarly, Shukdev Goswami, by chanting, by speaking, that means yes, hearing, and Sravanam Kirtan, by Kirtana, he was liberated. Emni Prahlad Maharaj by remembering the Lord, and Tadangri Bhajane Lakshmi Devi, and Prithu Maharaj by Pujane, and Kokuros to Abhibandhane, and Kopipoti means Hanuman by Dasho, by serving the Lord, and Arjuna by as a friend, or Shoka as Sharvat, Shakhe, and Sharbat Masna Nivedan is Boli Maharaj, and also Ambarish Maharaj. So they have achieved the perfection by following any of this, by any of the processes. Each of the processes is potent, but we have a variety of process to reach the Lord. If we do it perfectly and under the instruction of our spiritual master, we will be able to go back to Godhead and reach the goal of human life. And Prabhupada is telling here that this is what we should pursue, and this is Lord's instruction. If we follow it and pursue it in the way the Lord has prescribed, we can go back to Godhead. And with with the sincere endeavor to perform this process of devotion and service is bhakti, and through the process of bhakti, we can go back to Godhead. That is the goal of life, and the Lord has Lord has proposed this for us. If we follow it, our life will be successful. And with that, I am closing. I am concluding. So, if anyone has any comments, any mistakes I have made, please point out. Any other suggestions? So please do that. I am happy to hear from you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandot Pranam.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandot.
Yeah, such a wonderful extract from the text 31. You have elaborated the whole process of our Krishna consciousness, how it generated, how it maintained, and how it is going on. And as this text explains that Srila Prabhupada is telling us this is not a new process. It is since long, ages is going on. So only things here, according to Bhagavad Gita 4.1 and 2, it was of course broken in between, but it is being reconnected. And this process is going on and on and on. What is the purpose? Just to elevate us from this material world to the spiritual world. That is the whole purpose. And Srila Prabhupada has, and all the yugas has given the same facility according to their stricture. And different yugas have different kinds of remembering the Lord. Though in this Kali Yuga, people are not qualified, are not in a proper mood or intelligence, the process is being shortened or made so simple for the people so that in any case they are disturbed, they can even remember the Lord. And with this, that is chanting, hearing and chanting. By chanting and hearing, by the adopting the simple process, even we are engaged in the material activities, we can take the opportunity and go back to Godhead. So Srila Prabhupada is getting this information and delivering to us that all the sampradayas have the same facility. It is just to remember the Lord in different ways. As we as we say in the temple, we go to temple, there are different routes to reach, but the goal is temple. Similarly, the goal is Krishna consciousness. Which process you follow, it doesn't matter. The things matters is the remembrance of Krishna. So you explained the thing so nicely to refresh us so that we can understand and do it in a better way. And Srila Prabhupada has given all the facilities, and the simpleness of this process is to remember Krishna all the time, so that the pardon, being a pardon parcel of the Lord, we can go back to Him, rather than being harassed by this material condition and waiting for the death to come, and which is most fearful. So to avoid this fearfulness of death, the only process is to adopt Krishna consciousness and go back to our original position where Lord Krishna is residing. And this is the message from text 31. Thank you so much for elaborating how these yugas has come and what are the purpose of this yuga and which Manu is working at what stage. Of course, this gives an idea how important it is. It is not a simple mathematical calculation. It has got a strength and meaning of it. And to understand the impact of Krishna consciousness, you have elaborated so nicely and easily so we can understanding. Thank you so much once again. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Dandot Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandot.
No, thank you so much for elaborating this verse, and especially you explained the various the yugas, the manus, and how the disciplic succession. You explained that in great detail with lots of references. Really appreciate that. So, like one thing really struck me in this purport, how Prabhupada he indicates that we should be very tolerant of these differences of opinion.
Yes.
Because due to everyone's personal identity. So, like whether it's Gaudiya Math or other sampradayas or this thing, so we should be very, very tolerant of the differences, because each due to personal identity, we have our own personal differences. So, yeah, anything you just could you elaborate a bit on that, Prabhu, that you are saying that you should be tolerant. That's what I could gather from that. Like anything you want to elaborate on that, the tolerant of being tolerant of differences between because difference of opinion, even difference of opinion within the sampradaya or even with other sampradayas. Yeah. So just wanted to see if you wanted to elaborate on that.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for doing that. And in fact, one thing sometimes initially we think that only there was a difference of opinion between ISKCON and Gaudiya Sampradaya, which Prabhupada has, from which Prabhupada has come. In fact, if you just look a bit deeper into that, you will see that not only in the Gaudiya tradition also, just giving an example, just from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he has got 6 Goswamis and other persons also who has associated with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that any branch that has come out of the other Vaishnavas, in case of Prabhupada, or it has come via it came from Rupa Goswami and Rupa Goswami to Rupa Goswami, then Raghunath Das Goswami, then Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami. This is one branch. But similarly, there are other branches also, and they are also following the same things, but giving a different opinion on that. So if we consider all of them, then that they are also following the right traditions and their gurus are also qualified. In that case, they are also going back to Godhead. So we should not be very, very parochial in our idea that we are the only people who are doing that, but we should accept others who are also doing properly and following the Shastric. They mentioned in the Shastra. If they do that, we should not unnecessarily enter into conflict, but they are also doing the same thing with ours. So, but in case of Prabhupada has very nicely done it for us. It is our benefit. We have been benefited nicely because of that, because he has very structured and standard things he has given to us. but others are also doing it in their own way. We should respect them also, so that we do not unnecessarily what do you say, lose our time on that. Rather appreciate the others are also there. If we have anything to accept from them, we can accept them to the extent Prabhupada has told us. In this way, we can also benefit from them.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna. Any other person want to make any comments on that? So it appears no other person is there, so I'm concluding the session now.
पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः अनंतकोटि वैष्णव की जय। His Grace Abhay Charan की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। All glories to assembled
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you for your nice
Thank you
class.
very
Hare
much.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.